Lane Hutson is a professional anomaly, the reigning Calder Trophy winner, the man who turned deception into a high art form and proved that a 5'8" defenseman could dominate the modern NHL. He's the gold standard for offensive creativity. But what if I told you the Washington Capitals didn't just sign a Lane Hutson clone? What if I told you they just secured the version of the Hutson software that actually works better?
I've skated with quite a few NHL players in the summers, but to see, 26 of them out there at the same time is going to be pretty crazy.
This isn't just brotherly hype. This is a statistical and mechanical reality. While the world was watching Lane, Cole was quietly demolishing every record his brother ever set. He didn't just break Lane's USNTDP scoring marks, he shattered them. He didn't just play the World Juniors, he became the first defenseman in the history of the tournament to lead the entire event in scoring. But the most fascinating part isn't the points. It's the surgical origin story behind the player. Imagine being 6 years old and being told that to become elite, you have to throw away your skate laces. Imagine a training regime so unconventional, so bordering on insanity, that most traditional coaches would call it a liability. Tonight, we open the intelligence file on the Capitals' new 80-point weapon. We're performing a full-scale mechanical audit on Cole Hutson. We're diving into the United Skates mystery, the controversial Team Canada threats from his father, and the raw, polarizing quotes that have scouts debating, is he the ultimate competitor or is he dangerously self-absorbed? Most importantly, we're going to prove why Cole Hutson's professional ceiling isn't just high, it's higher than his brother's.
Hutson on the puck in his own zone. Hutson weaves in, throws it across, wrist shot, Smith.
To understand how Cole Hutson became a system glitch, you have to go back to his childhood in Michigan. Most hockey parents follow the rigid script. Buy the stiffest boots possible, tie the laces until the blood stops circulating, and give the kid maximum support. They treat skates like armor. But Rob Hutson, Cole's father, viewed armor as a weakness. Rob Hutson's methodology was simple, yet controversial. He wanted his 4 sons to understand the pure physics of skating. For the first 30 minutes of every single practice session, Cole and his brothers would step onto the ice with their skate laces completely undone. No support, no safety net. Their skates fit more like slippers than boots. This is the United Skates theory. By forcing the boys to balance on a thin blade with zero ankle support, Rob Hutson was building freakish biological stabilizers. While every other kid in the country was leaning on their equipment to stay upright, Cole was learning to transfer force through his bones and ligaments with surgical precision. The goal? To make the game feel easy once the laces were finally tied. If you can stop and start on a dime with loose skates, you become a ghost when you have full support. It's why scouts describe Cole's skating as effortless and liquid. He isn't just fast, he's mechanically superior because his ankles have been conditioned to thrive in instability. But this training wasn't just about edges. It was about a specific brand of psychological autonomy. This family system is high intensity, and it's recently leaked into the public eye in a way that's divided the scouting world. In late 2025, after Lane Hutson was initially snubbed from a Team USA Olympic orientation camp, Rob Hutson didn't just stay quiet. He went on the record reminding the world that his boys are dual citizens. His quote, "My boys are also Canadian. They could vote with their feet."
Listen, and you never know what happens in the future. Like, my boys are also Canadian. So yeah. there is an absolute luxury there, and a lot of great players have been left off the selection for Olympics and things like that. And, I think Brett Hall might have been one of them. I think, he voted with his feet. He went from Canada to the US. Like, there's all types of scenarios that are I wouldn't say in play, but are possibilities, right?
It was a surgical threat that sent shockwaves through USA Hockey. Critics labeled Rob a stage parent in the vein of Paul Marner, while others saw it as a father simply weaponizing his son's elite status. For Cole, this was the environment he was raised in, one where loyalty is earned and excellence is the only currency. He isn't just a product of a hockey school, he's the flagship model of a family-run laboratory. And as we're about to see, that laboratory produced a player who might actually be more surgical than the brother who just won the Calder. Hey, we're currently at a critical junction in our mission. As I speak, we're only 65 scouts away from hitting the 1,000 subscriber milestone. And this community is becoming the premier intelligence network for deep-level prospect audits, and I want you to be part of the final push. If you're finding value in this breakdown of the Hutson system glitch, do the tactical thing and like the video to help the algorithm find more scouts, subscribe to join the network, and drop a comment below with your answer to tonight's intelligence check. If you were an NHL GM, would you be worried about the father factor in Cole's career? Or is the United Skates edge worth any amount of drama? I read every single report in the comments. Let's get back into the audit. Whenever brothers enter the same professional ecosystem, the comparison is inevitable. But for Cole Hutson, it isn't just a comparison, it's a takeover. Let's look at the surgical reality of his time with the U.S. National Team Development Program. Lane Hutson was a sensation, finishing his 2 years in Plymouth with 90 points. Most scouts thought that was the ceiling for a defenseman of that size. Then Cole arrived. He didn't just edge past his brother, he destroyed the record books, finishing his NTDP career with 119 points. He surpassed Lane, he surpassed Adam Fox, and even moved past Cam York to become the all-time scoring leader for defensemen in the program's history.
Yeah, I had a pretty good idea going into today that they might want me because I had pretty good meetings previously with them, and I just had that feeling.
But the real system glitch occurred in Ottawa during the 2025 World Junior Championships. Historically, the WJC is a tournament dominated by 19-year-old forwards. Defensemen are there to facilitate. Cole Hutson refused that script. He put up 11 points in just 7 games, becoming the first defenseman in the history of the tournament, not just for Team USA, but in history, to lead the entire World Juniors in scoring outright. Think about that. In a tournament featuring the world's most elite offensive prospects, a defenseman from Boston University was the one setting the pace. So why is he more effective? Well, it comes down to 2 surgical advantages. First, the frame. Lane's biggest hurdle was his size, entering the league at 5'9" and barely 160 pounds. Cole is sturdier. He's already 5'11" and roughly 172 pounds. That extra 2 inches and 10 pounds of muscle changes the physics of his game. He's not just an evasive skater like Lane, he's a harder player. He's in the 90th percentile for hits per 60 during his time in the USHL from 2022 to 2024. And he doesn't just dance around contact, he can initiate it. Second, the development runway. This is the detail most scouts miss. Cole is a June 28th birth date. In the scouting world, this is a massive green flag. He was one of the youngest players in his draft class, whereas Lane was a February birth date. This means Cole is achieving higher production at a younger biological age. His ceiling isn't just higher because of his stats, it's higher because he has more room to grow before he even hits his physical prime. Cole Hutson made his debut last week for the Washington Capitals. He's stepping onto the ice not just as Lane's brother, but as a record-breaking, record-setting system glitch that most teams pass on. Hey, we're currently just 50 scouts away from our 1,000 subscriber milestone. So if you want to be part of the most elite intelligence network on YouTube, do the tactical thing and like this video, comment below with your thoughts on the Hutson United Skates training, and hit the subscribe button to join the network. We're closing in on 1,000, so join the mission. Mission accomplished, we are Hockey Uncovered, and we'll see you in the next audit.